Are you trying to learn how to use Claude Design as a product manager, but you don't even know where to get started, what it can do, and honestly speaking, why you should even learn Claude Design in the first place? My name is Rich, your favorite tech career coach, and in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through all of the use cases that you could find actually applicable as a product manager, starting with PRDs, prototyping, how to redesign a checkout page. Maybe you're interviewing for an e-commerce product manager role. Everything from that to redesigning a webinar thumbnail. This is actually something that we whipped up in-house, as you could see here from a Claude Code 2.0 live build that we just did. This was done with Claude Design. We're going to show you all of this, and more importantly, how you can flex it on a job interview if you're not putting Claude Design onto your resume. So I'm just going to pull up one of the templates that we have here. So this is like an investment banking analyst that's transitioning over to product management. It doesn't matter if you're not using it for the job. Something that you can do is make sure that you add it over to your resume and make sure that you have the side projects down here below. I'm going to be covering, as the title suggests, this is the complete guide in using Claude Design as a product manager. That starts right now. Let's get it. For starters, fam, you got to start listing Claude Design along with all the other skills that we're covering onto your resume. The resume is so important. You're probably thinking to yourself, what does that have to do with, me being a product manager? I'll tell you exactly why. The market right now is moving so quickly that product managers don't even realize your YouTube channel is effectively your resume. It is not only a tool to establish your competency, but it's also a platform that you can leverage to attract the product manager interviews at your favorite companies. This is precisely the reason why our people are landing product manager jobs such as like Lucid Motors, revenue ops roles, especially revenue ops and growth product manager roles, because companies are looking for product managers that can effectively and articulately communicate why a product is important, why you should use it, why you should pay for it, and why you should keep on paying for it. And most people, when they're on the job hunt, it's like it's too late. You want to build up this cookie trail. So pretty pleased with sugar on top. Do help me help you. Add this on your resume for starters underneath the design section, and you should be adding in there everything from Claude Design, Figma, design thinking, so on and so forth. Don't forget to make sure that all the other AI and the vibe coding tools, along with all the agentic AI and the generative AI is at the top. As you can see, Claude is absolutely dominating. Make sure that it's there. Number two, also make sure that you have your portfolio platforms and your portfolio projects attached to your resume as well. Why are people getting into the best product manager jobs? It's very simple. You got to list out your portfolio projects on the bottom, and more importantly, you have to have a very specific link to that portfolio project. Most people, I would say 90% of product managers, whether they're transitioning into the space or they are already experienced veterans, they don't have a portfolio link. And when they go over to this portfolio, it's actually one of our instructors in Toronto, Canada. We do work with Canadians. We've been there since 2019. They have a portfolio project, but I got to go ahead and actually maybe even look for it. Like, we don't want to do that. We want to have a very specific link. Like if I did 11 labs and a WhatsApp portfolio, we want to link it right there so it's easier for people to go ahead and find. You also want to have a link directly over to your YouTube channel. This is Kel, one of our San Francisco instructors. And ideally, you also have a link to the Instagram portfolio, which is also Kel. Do you need all three? No. But as I always say with people, what do you think is going to resonate more in a sea of candidates right now and all these layoffs? When you go to a restaurant, especially an ethnic restaurant, like if I've never had Thai food and I don't even know this place that Thailand exists, or I've never been to an Italian restaurant and I don't even know what pizza is, I don't even know what cheese is, right? I don't even know that this country called Italy is even on the map. What do you think is going to hit harder? A photo on an iPad, a video, or do you think it's going to be text on a menu? It's going to be the visual. even if you know what pizza is, you'd still be very curious how the pizza at this restaurant looks like, right? So we want to make sure all of our portfolio templates are up and it has very clear links. That way, you're basically making it easier for people, because attention right now is very hard to go out there and captivate. We want to have that very clear visual here. This is actually the thumbnail for this video because we want you guys to very clearly see it. That way the hiring manager can see you as the best possible fit. The next thing that you want to go ahead and do is do a product teardown of Claude design. And I'm telling you why. Because consuming content is only going to get you so far. You got to go and produce content. One of the first videos that you can do, or even a blog that you can go ahead and write about, is just going through the first page and just navigating it. When you're going through a brand new app, I don't care if it's Cursor, I don't care if it's OpenAI, it's Codex, just going through all of the different functions that it has and all the different tabs and just playing with it is gonna completely set you aside from all of the other competitors, simply because, and I'll tell you why, most people aren't even doing it. There's too much friction. They see this and they completely get overwhelmed. You don't want to do that. If you're watching this video right now and you are a subscriber to one of our YouTube channels, you're either a product manager that's trying to learn these skills so you can flex it on the job and make more money. You're either transitioning over to product management and you feel like your skills are inadequate, or you are an experienced product manager and you're getting ready to go on the job hunt. Ideally, outcome number 2 is the same. How do you flex this on an interview so they're like, oh, this person knows Claude design? The other 9 people that we talked about don't, so you seem to be the better option. Or third, you should be going for a Claude brand ambassadorship deal. If you are one of the influencers for Claude, it's way sexier for you to go into the interview being able to flex that. What do all these 3 things have in common? Don't ever waste that first impression when you're going through all of these different tabs, all of these different toggles, switches, everything. The getting started video is one of the absolute best videos that you should make. Also, when you're seeing everything here for the very first time, you can also go ahead and basically take that as real-time user feedback, because Claude, Anthropic's hiring for a lot of product managers, folks, a lot of product managers. And if you notice, like, we are putting up tons of Anthropic training because we are positioning our folks right now to getting that product manager job from Claude, from Anthropic. So the first thing that we can do is, in all of these different prototypes, you can create a name. There's wireframe and high fidelity. Almost always create high fidelity. You can set up your own individual design system. What we found to be just simple is creating a random project name. And I'm going to show you how to go ahead and create a PRD right now, which is Smart Pulse, let's just say dashboard. Dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and click high fidelity. I'm going to create this. And then right here, I'm going to add the following. I'm going to have gold. This is something that I prompted up before. I prompted up Gemini to give me a PRD that I could use very quickly. And then the prompt is, I'm a product manager. Use the following PRD to build a fully interactive React prototype in an artifact. Make sure the intervention buttons are clickable and open a model. So I'm going to take all of this right here. I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to take the PRD, I'm going to paste it right here. And then I'm just going to click on send, and I'm going to let it work its magic. And while that was going right there, and that's going to take a few minutes. Let's not waste time though. Let's talk about the Claude design and the Figma drama right now, because beyond just having the skills, you need to have some personality. There's a lot of Game of Thrones shit that's going on in the industry right now, and companies actually want you to take a professional stance on it, and they want to hear your feedback. to be totally honest. I want to hear your feedback. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So what's the drama between Figma and Claude, and why is Claude design such a big deal in the tech space? So back in February, literally a few days after Valentine's Day, this is an article that was put out on the Figma website, which is from Claude Code to Figma. We are going to go ahead and turn production code into editable Figma designs. And this was one of the things that was really lacking in Claude, was the design, the aesthetic aspect of it, that front layer of what it is that we all see first. And effectively, when Claude dropped Claude Design, which was only a few days after the chief product officer at Anthropic, Mike Krieger, he used to be a board of director for Figma. He basically departed a few days before, because as a board member, you have to have a fiduciary responsibility to the board and to the company. They had effectively created a competitor product. So that just makes, like, if you think about it this way, if McDonald's and Chipotle teamed up and McDonald's says we're not going to go ahead and create burritos, which actually in the past they kind of have, so I don't even know if this is a really good example. Or like McDonald's and Pizza Hut partnered up, right? Basically, McDonald's started making its own pizza and making its own burritos. You announce the partnership, and 2 months later, you basically create your own product. This is a big shift in the whole tech market, because now everybody's going to be thinking whether or not they should even do a partnership with Claude, or is Anthropic going to go and find ways to just kind of turn their, stab them in the back. So companies right now, one of the reasons why, and I think a lot of people just aren't as informed, but you really need to be, why we're getting our people into some of the coolest companies, and especially the leadership roles, is, asking questions about just, what's your process in, running a customer discovery session? How do you manage a backlog? All that crap is just so boring. Like, if you think about a fight is not very exciting unless there's some drama inside of it, right? So these are the things that the people that are in the industry are talking about right now, that they're all very excited to gossip about. And sometimes I'd say people either don't know it because they haven't been informed, or they might feel like it's an inappropriate time. But companies really, I can say this from the track record of people that we have landed jobs for over and over again, despite the background that you're coming from, finance, sales, H1 visas, UK, going into AWS, our friend right here that we helped make a transition for in Canada. Companies hire so much on culture fit. In a sea of candidates right now, and I think the competition in terms of skills has never been more, there's so many people with so much experience and skills. How do you differentiate yourself amongst all of those different candidates? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you, your personality. People generally hire people that are a little bit less or underskilled, but skills are trainable. Working with somebody that's highly qualified, but they either think this person's going to be difficult to work with, this person's going to be boring to work with, or this person's not going to be fun to work with, they make all of those considerations too. And it sucks for you guys to be losing out on jobs, but I think the real problem is you don't know how to present yourself. You don't know how to present your personality on top of. It's like in a place like San Francisco, we struggle to communicate this a lot with the technical product managers. Do you honestly think you're the only person running around with a Stanford MBA? Why do you think other people are taking jobs away from you? Why do you think we're putting people into the most exciting companies? It's because I've been a recruiter before, and now I'm a coach for almost a decade. People hire people that they like, and culture fit is a very big thing. So now we're back to this, and let's go ahead and talk about the interactive PRD and your little dashboard here. So Smart Pulse, this is actually team well-being, spotting burnout signals before they show up on team one-on-ones. Maybe just stop threatening people to fire them and then label them as like underperformers. But you have what's been going on for the last 7 days. You have what's been going on within the last 30 days. And you have all these different team members here. And you have, this is actually pretty cool. Like you have the engineer, you have the product designer, you have the engineering manager, you have the Priya Chen. That's a cool combination of a name. But you have the product manager, definitely at risk, engineering manager at risk, staff engineer at risk. And then let's take a look here. We can go ahead and either monitor the situation. That's very cool. Or we can go out there and actually intervene. And a business use case that you can make for this is when people are burnt out and they can no longer work, we basically have an entire holdup in the production line. And, calendar audit effort, time off nudge. Maybe you need to go out there. You have 11 unused PTO days. Take a long weekend. Wow, this is all very cool stuff. You need to get this thing onto your you need to absolutely get this onto your portfolio, right? So this is why. Schedule a call with us. See if our program's for you. Let's see here. Tomorrow 9 a.m., tomorrow 2 p.m. You can go ahead and actually schedule this. I think this is a very cool side project. Why? Because number one, you're showing that you're not only prompting, but like you are addressing a problem that's very real in the marketplace, which is you're having burnt out team members working in technology. We have 3 people right now at risk. We have 1 person that's on monitor, and then we only have 1 person that's healthy. We could actually increase more filters here, but let's just say I wanted to go out there and play with this thing a little bit more. And right here, when I click on performance, nothing's coming up. When I click on one-on-ones and performance one-on-ones and reports, nothing is coming up. Okay, so let me see if I want to add in. I'm just going to take a screenshot. I'm going to pop it back here. And now it basically has that. And I said, currently right now, it's only giving me a visual when I'm hitting well-being, but I'm not seeing anything for performance. I'm not seeing anything for one-on-ones, and I'm not seeing anything for reports. Can you also go ahead and give me a visual on that? In addition, I only have 5 team members here. Can we go ahead and put on another 5 team members? Boom, voice prompting. It's hot. It's so freaking hot. Okay, you should definitely get on it. Voice prompting is very hot too when you're on the interview. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna click send. Okay. And while I'm taking a look at that, we're gonna wait for this thing to go ahead and come back. I'm gonna move this here. And while this is gonna go ahead and work, I wanted to show y'all that this is a checkout page we very quickly put together. And you can see this, users are complaining that our pricing selection screen is confusing. I've attached a screenshot of our current layout, redesigned the entire surface. So you can create, like, instead of people literally trying to sketch it out by hand and taking a photo of it. I've actually seen that happen before, right? You can actually describe it. So right now, you don't need to go to your developer or to your designer and say, hey, can you make this change? And they're just going to be thinking like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. Like, you can actually just go ahead and actually do this yourself, add it in and prompt it, something that we're teaching a lot in the class. And instead of just having like, PRD sometimes are really, really, really boring because it's not interactive, right? And in this case, you have something that's very interactive, like attaching a PRD with a prototype. A PRD, if we're going to go ahead and make it very simple, is like a recipe. It's like a cooking recipe, right? A cookbook is going to sell better if it has not only a really awesome, like instead of me jotting it down on like a little yellow page, yellow pad, you actually see it and it's interactive. And it's like, oh, okay, all right. Well, this seems a lot more fun to go ahead and look at. And then now I have a prototype. As a developer or another team member that you're working with, I'm going to appreciate this just so much more. I'm going to appreciate it so much more than you a lot of times trying to describe it to me. But I'm not seeing the vision that you are seeing, that you have inside of your head, which creates friction, it creates animosity, and then ultimately people just don't end up getting anything done because they're like, what's the point of doing all this? Now, let's talk about updating the prototype with natural language. So as you can go ahead and see, I said, currently it's only giving me a visual when I'm hitting well-being. And when I clicked on performance before, and when I clicked on one-on-ones before, and when I clicked on reports, nothing was popping up. And a lot of times when we're either interviewing or maybe we're even on the job, we're like, oh my gosh, oh man, fucking up. Like, no, just ask it and it will create something for you, right? Also, I didn't feel like we had enough data and I wanted to add an extra 5 team members here, which I was able to go ahead and do. So I said, okay, it's only giving me a visual when I'm hitting the well-being, but I'm not seeing anything for performance, for one-on-ones or reports. Can you also go ahead and give me a visual on that? In addition, I only have 5 team members here. Can we put on another 5 team members? This is why voice prompting is so hot. And if you're not using voice prompting, you're just not going to get the best results. Because when you're putting, the more information and the clearer the instructions are for all, I don't care if you're building AI agents, I don't care if you're trying to generate AI images or video, the more information, it's like popping into your like Ninja Blender. The more information it has to operate on, the better the results it's going to go ahead and give you. So companies don't just look at candidates when they're interviewing based upon what kind of skills that they have. They want you to do these types of videos because they want to see you live prompt. It lets them know, how are you thinking about these problems? How are you thinking about using AI? And overall, your thought process is what's going to make the difference between you being a better product manager versus somebody else that they think should have your job. That's something that we don't want to see, which is why schedule the call. On all of our videos, all you got to go ahead and do if you're watching this, pop down here where it says schedule a call here and schedule a call. See, we're even doing this part because we know it's like, okay, I want to schedule a call. Well, how am I going to do that? We're giving you that visual so you know. Let's go ahead and go back into this. So I have well-being, I have performance. I can go ahead and click on individual team members right here. I can add a new goal. You see, new goal here isn't popping up, but if I wanted to, I can make it interactive. Let's see here. We have one-on-ones and I have notes to open. I don't have notes to open, right? If I wanted to now, you can go ahead and see, I can open up the notes and then we can like, it all comes down to how far you want to take it. It's like video editing. We've got our reports. This wasn't something that we had before, but if I wanted to add it here, we can go ahead and do that as well. So for the last thing that I want you to do is, why don't you take apart this prompt and then tell me what are some of the things that you were able to do. But this is a very fun side project and we have to be very intentional about how we're setting up our side projects for our portfolio because it has to resonate with the hiring manager. This is actually one of the key reasons people enroll in our program, right? Is your side project resonating with your hiring team where they're actually like, oh my gosh, like we want the hiring team to feel like, you know, at risk. Nah, you know, if they did it for me right now, I would be beyond at risk. I'd be like red. You know, create some humor on the interview, right? Like anything to go out there. Every little bit of an advantage on an interview is an advantage on an interview. So lastly, let's go out there and actually wrap up today's video with having a hot take, which is Claude Design going to replace Figma? And that's a question that you will run across when you're on the product manager interview that would really help you stand out. So things like that you aren't considering that's a part of the interview, and some of you that are on the interview track a little bit more aggressive, companies actually want to hear your opinion right now about AI and about different AI tools. And they're already asking people, so do you think this can replace Figma? Like, would you suggest? I'm going to give you the answer right now. As of right now, the time of this recording, which is May 2026, the answer is no, not yet. Can that change very quickly by 4th of July? Yes, because Anthropic right now is moving light speed. They're moving very, very quickly. And as a product manager, that's actually one of the roles that we're going for right now as a group, is actually the product manager for monetization. But if you were to interview at Anthropic right now for a product manager role, we're going for the top line companies right now, champs. They want to actually hear your opinion about this, not just if you're interviewing at Anthropic, even if you're interviewing for another company outside or a competitor like OpenAI, they still want to hear your opinion. So let me give you a very intelligent answer you can use on your next interview. As of right now, no, because the amount of production level code that exists, and you're talking about the number of stakeholders that are working together right now on Figma, as of right now, no. And it's like the team's already there, so it really doesn't make sense. If you're talking about maybe the end of 2026 going into 2027, I would say a lot of the newer companies may be considering it then, but as of right now, if I was a startup that just started, and we would be 100% still using Figma. But that can very quickly change. Also, as you know, this is why learning these skills, along with all of the other skills that are in our ever-growing AI curriculum, schedule the call, it's so important for you to keep up with it, because if you don't, you're really going to get left behind fast. Market's moving very quickly right now. Figma's not sitting around, staying still either. They just got Game of Thrones level nudged, and they are going to be doubling down. I find it very hard to believe that they're not working some very late nights, and they're not working on the weekends themselves to really assess, okay, we thought we had a partner, and now turns out we have a competitor, and we're got to go on the offense. So the cool thing is, you as the consumer, if you understand these skills, I think the real big winners right now are the consumers, and you can say this on an interview response, or even you'll be asked this on the job. You are currently already working as a product manager, and somebody asks you, like a CTO might even ask you, because they're too lazy to do the research themselves, right? So, hey, did you get a chance to play with like Claude design yet? I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think we should just move off of Figma? People love that initial feeling of moving from one platform to the next, because it's just new. You know, the job itself, it's like, it gets a little repetitive sometimes. So anything that gives a fresh take, people appreciate it. As of right now, answer is still no. That can change very soon, but who knows? Figma, I'm pretty sure they're going to be cranking out something. So there's no time other than right now that's more exciting to transition over to product management. Let's go ahead and chop it up. You know how to schedule a call with us, and we'll see you in all the live trainings.